morning, Monday morning, the 19th of April, 2022. All right, this is the corner of where we're going to put in the cardboard boxes. I don't know if I'll be able to do that today, if there's too much rain. I don't know. It's difficult to work with the... I'll show you guys. I've got rolls of cardboard box. Well, it's not cardboard boxes. The material that cardboard box is made out of. So before it becomes corrugated, before it becomes a box, that's what it looks like. So I've got rolls of that, and to handle that in the wet is a bit difficult. So we'll see if we'll be able to do that today. But I've been taking a look at these tomatoes and peas that are coming up here, and they need some attention. I need to prune these tomatoes, and I've got a squash coming up over there, right there at the back, and I was thinking maybe I should guide these peas today, but I don't think so. I think they need to go another week or so, but they are coming up rapidly, so I'm quite happy with that. And then first we need to go and bribe the cattle to be my friends. All right, well, the kids are at school today, even Yasia. So it's dad alone at home. Got to do everything myself today, you know. Also with my wife working full-time, I need to take care of the house chores as well. So yeah, laundry and dishes and all these nice things. But first, let's go bribe the cattle. I have found my new friends. Look at them, just sitting here, waiting for me to bring them apples. Can you believe it? Morning! Who wants an apple? Anybody? Anybody for some apple? Good. Now we need to get to pruning the tomatoes. Let's find out what I did with my pruning shears. There we go. These are my trusty pruning shears. I obtained them 2 and a bit years ago, and I have not found them again. They're smallish, but I see some of the guys in Europe have got a better, smaller one with a little ring that fits around your thumb, and then as you need it, you can just swivel it into action, and then if you don't need it, you just push it out of the way. But this does do the job, and I hope she'll be with me for a long time into the future. All right, tomato plant number 1. I normally leave 3 leaves plus the growing tip on top, so that would be 1, 2, 3, and then this growing section here on top. And I don't like pruning more than 3 leaves at a time, and also I like to prune it a little bit long, not right off against the stem, and then it gets dry and like a scab, and it will just fall off there. As if the plant heals by itself. So that's what I've experienced is a good way of doing it. Obviously have a bin close by so you can put all the goodies in there, and then yeah, just leave it and it will continue, on its merry way up. You can maybe put a bit of a twist into the support there, and up she goes. What I'm going to do today as well is take out the weeds that are coming up. This is compost. It is material that broke down. I'm not quite sure if the purpose was to make compost out of it or just to throw the biomaterial away and just let it decompose somewhere else and not be a problem for anyone. But I do have this material, and if you watched my previous videos, this comes from the dehusking process of macadamias. So there's a lot of husk material here, which is fantastic, and then there's some macadamia nut shells and some macadamia nuts as well that's been decomposing, and some of them are still like a solid round ball, but I'm working with what I've got, Okay, pruning done, all the weeds are out, and they can go on their merry way. The sun's coming through. we might just be able to put some cardboard out today. But first, first I need to get that washing line over there full of clothes and a cup of coffee. First batch of laundry done. The next batch is in. It's so exciting doing laundry. Alright, coffee done. This is my cardboard box. This is a waste product for a cardboard manufacturer, these rolls. And I'm trying to get 3 layers of cardboard on top of each other. So I triple layer it. They're really difficult to manage because when you get them, they weigh like 300 kgs, and I'm just one man, and I weigh like, well, I don't want to tell you, but I weigh almost 90 kgs. So that's like 3 and a bit times my weight. So at my previous place, I had a lot of concrete to work with, and I could move it up and down on concrete. Here, I've got this carport that I'm putting everything in. But there's water coming in, so this roll is wet at the bottom, and just as you exit the carport, it goes to gravel, sand, and grass. Now, what I did in the past, I would take those biggish sticks and I would just stick them underneath and use them as wheels and just roll it out on them. But I don't know what's going to happen when I hit the gravel. So hopefully I'll be able to move it far enough out so I can turn it, so I can unroll it down the driveway all the way to the bottom, because I need 12-meter lengths or 6-meter lengths or both to do the 4 beds around the corner here. Right, I've got 5 12-meter and excess lengths. 5 rolls of cardboard box, and I need to cover this 12-meter stretch here. Let me just show you what the material looks like so you get a good idea. It's just a very thick cardboard paper, and then I'll be doubling up the layers and then put a 3rd layer across. So these ones will go down a little bit over the walkway here, and then 5 of them going down to the bottom. The bottom one will fold over again to give a double layer there. As you can see, it does have a bit of a slope downwards towards the house, and but it's not a train smash. Initially, when I first started with this, I thought that would be a big problem, and I leveled out the beds and I put in edges to keep it up, and so it's not necessary. I thought all the compost and the biomaterial would wash away, but nope, it doesn't. Wait, you want more apples? Come, I've got more apples, come. Okay, here's the broken down material that I use as compost. It's macadamia husk, and there's some shells in there, and there's some macadamia nuts in there and so forth. All nuts still, so, but it's majority of the product is husk, and it's been sitting there for years. It is perfect. There's a lot of activity in there. There's earthworms in there, and thus far it's working pretty good. It's looking pretty good. If you look at those peas and look how green they are, they're doing well. It's just they need a bit of more sunlight, then my tomatoes won't be so leggy, but that's okay. We've had a lot of rain over the last 2 weeks. Alright, second load of washing done. Cardboard box in and on its place. And I have realized, what am I going to do with this rosemary and this lavender? Is I'm going to pot it on. I've got some potting bags, those plastic bags that you can put compost in and pot it on. Yeah. Until I find the right spot for it, because I'm not quite convinced I do have the right spot yet. What I will be doing is put on the heads of each bed, on the east side and on the west side, one plant in, just to give it a bit of variety. But I mean, my beds are going to have, it's not very monoculture beds, so I've already got variety in my beds, but it's part of the journey, part of the plan is to have like a perennial herb on the head of each bed. Just something I have in my head. I could be totally wrong in doing it. I don't care. I'm gonna do it anyways. But it was raining. I had to take the washing down, and now it's not raining, so I put it back up again. Alright, this is covered properly. Fantastic. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark it out, put in some pegs that side, walkways and rows, beds, and then I'm gonna get the wheelbarrow and I'm just gonna drop heaps of compost on like the heads and in the center, and then I'll fill up in between. But the main purpose of that is just to keep the cardboard box down. So if there's a wind during the course of the day or the evening tonight, that it doesn't blow away, because that does happen, and it's a schlep to get it all back together again. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, all the beds have been marked. I've put white pieces of conduiting over the pegs that I've hit into the ground, smacked into the ground with a 2-pound hammer, just so that firstly they show up on the videos, and secondly, when you're not watching, you tend to walk into these pegs and they tend to hurt, make me bleed. Alright, so this particular row will be a bed, walkway, bed, walkway, bed, walkway, bed. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 extra beds, plus minus 10 meters each. The last one is about 9 meters, so it tapers down, but it's a 38 running meters of bed that I've got instead of just 10, so that will give me a total of 48 meters. At my previous house I had 830, so substantially more, 20 times more, but we'll get there, and this is just going to be a longer process. I initially did say I'm only going to put in one bed here, but for seed saving purposes we've decided to put in an extra couple of beds so that we can provide for ourselves as number one, and number two, have seed that has done at least one season here on this new soil, and it's ready for when we put in the big beds there at the back. There's the lime orchard there at the back. That's where the beds are going to go in. Now the bulk of it's going to be here to the right. There's an old horse stable here behind these bushes, and that whole section there, I'm probably going to fit in about 30-40 beds there, and then nooks and cranny farming, as Joel Salatin says, in between the rows and down at the bottom there, and so forth and so forth. Yeah, but we'll get it, and then we'll see what the demand is. We'll grow with the demand.